Welcome back. Well, the Prime Minister's second visit to the United States has generated much excitement. In fact, India Today's deputy editor Smita Sharma got a chance to speak to actor Kajol, who is also the United Nations brand ambassador for hand wash. Kajol also spoke about the importance of personal hygiene. She even went on to praise Prime Minister's Swachh Bharat Abhiyan program. Let's listen in.
This is the second time that you've come back to the UN.
Third
time.
Yes.
Yeah, actually. So, how's it going? You know, this message of hand washing, how's it being received both back home and globally?
I think it's being received well because it's the third year and they realized. I think it's more like, okay, we've been screaming it so loudly that okay, they're finally sitting up and hearing us. But I think the most important thing is that just because it's a small tool does not mean that it is not effective. I think that's the message that we really want to get across to everybody, that just because it's small and it's it's easy doesn't make it any less effective. I mean, if it cost maybe 10,000 rupees per soap or something, would it make it more effective? Right. No, it wouldn't. So I mean, I think that's the thing that we want to really tell everybody, that if just because it's small does not mean that it is any less effective as a weapon, as a preventive measure, as a first step to any health program that any country wants to set up around the world. I mean, the first thing that you see in a hospital when a doctor enters is that he goes and he washes his hands with soap. Right. And then he uses the hand sanitizer, and then he wears his gloves, and now he's ready for his operation, or to even do whatever else that he wants to do in the hospital. So I mean, that in itself should give you a clue as to how important it is when you're talking about just especially children. When you're speaking about children and we're speaking about preventing bringing our child mortality down. And let me just tell you that India is one of those countries which has a really high child mortality rate. Right. We have not been able to bring it down to the level that we were supposed to.
The challenge is in India for advocating something like hygiene, for something like hand wash, because the Prime Minister, of course, one of his pet projects has been about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Right. So even as you talk about a clean India and clean environment, it's your personal hygiene too that matters.
Yes,
how do you bring the two of them together, and how do you sell it to people, so that they actually understand
the thing is that you don't need to sell it. With hand washing, you don't need to sell it because it is such an innate part of our culture. And we have just simply forgotten it. So we just need to remind them of that fact. We do not have to sell it. It is not new wine put into an old bottle or old wine put into a new bottle. It is just a reminder that you remember, yaad hai कि दादाजी हमको सिखाते थे, दादी हमको सिखाती थी, माँ सिखाती थी बचपन में कि बेटा हाथ धो के ही बैठना खाने खाने के लिए, बाथरूम से निकलो तो हाथ धो, हाथ धो. It is something that is innately even taught to us as kids. And we have forgotten because of time, because of the fact that we believe that we're more intelligent now, and we believe that it's not, appropriate maybe today, in today's, we just are so hurried, we're so rushed. Our lives have just developed this pace. So we've kind of put it onto the sidelines and said that, okay, it's not important anymore because we have more important things to do. So when I say that we don't have to sell it, we really don't have to sell it.